Welcome to the Man LUCRATIVE Podcast. I am the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm him. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. But look, this is a special episode. This is a very special episode. I ain't got no sponsors. Ain't nobody say we want to pay for this episode. I'm doing this off the strip of my own back, man. You know what I mean? So, as I told y'all, when I went home for Christmas, we got to go back. It's about 2 months out now. About 2 months out. When I went home for Christmas, my father-in-law told me, he said, "Bro, Mike," I said, "What's up?" He said, "Man, I got somebody that's fire." I said, "I don't believe it. I ain't heard nobody, not since 1995, not since Ricky Dillard, not since I might even throw Israel Houghton in there because he got some slaps in there. But I said, I ain't heard nobody black that's been fire and killing it." He said, "Listen to this." And when he played this record, it's called Undefeated by the one, the only Kenny Lewis. I said, "Oh my God, I got to have him on the podcast. We got to have him on." So I'm doing y'all a favor. If y'all have not heard of Mr. Kenny Lewis, y'all about to see. All right. So anyway, the one, the only Kenny Lewis in the building. How you feeling, man?
What's up, man? I'm good. Boy, you are hilarious. You need a comedy show. You need a comedy show. You said,
Nah.
I am the host.
So, how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
What's up, man? I'm good.
Now,
Glad to be here.
Now, where you based out of?
Chicago.
Okay. So you about what, an hour behind me?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We Central Standard.
So, I want to dig into the music, but I got to get a little bit of backstory on who you are before we dig into the music, because I'm a musician as well, right? Not just beat maker producer, like the point and click, not them joints. Like an actual, I'm classically trained, got my degree for piano and MD for years and all that stuff. So when I heard your music, I said, this mug has not let any turnaround go untouched. Every song got a turnaround in it. I was like, yeah. So from Chicago, tell me a little bit of how you got started.
Well, believe it or not, the group is 25 years old, man. We just made 25 years old.
Okay.
I've been singing all my life. My mom had 10 siblings. Everybody sing and play or sing, play, and preach. So I grew up in a music family. And I've been doing it all my life. I started writing young age, never intended on having a choir. I was always the commission, the wine, as Thomas Whitfield Company. Those were our big thing in Chicago was Milton Brunson and Thomas Community Singers that we love.
Right.
But it wasn't my desire. It just became my desire over the years. And then, man, God started birthing songs in me. And man, the rest is history. 25 years later, we still here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you said Milton Bronson. So Chicago, is Ricky Dillard from Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did he have any kind of impression on you as far as being a musician, or like? Cause I'm from North Carolina originally,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like we had John P. Key. Shouts out to Uncle John. But we had John P. Key. And a few others, but I'm thinking about on the national stage. You know what I mean? Like who got you into thinking like you think, as far as like musically?
Musically, man, my loves were oddly. I would love, because I'm really into background vocals, right? I
Okay.
love doing different changes and tones with background. So I would love Derek Coley background singers, Andre Crouch singers, the Whitfield Company.
Okay.
Those were like people that I admired. And then when the whiners and commission kind of came on the scene, to me, oh yeah,
The round
I
tone,
felt
doc.
like I felt like a choir could be able to do that. And then the nuances that the Clark sisters do when they do licks, and on top of each other, I feel like a choir could do all of that. So I always tell people that one voice, we found our niche, because I want us to be a one-stop shop where whatever you like, we got it right here. Church, urban, praise and worship, I love all those facets of gospel, and that's what I try to produce and give to the people.
Okay, so tell me this: when it comes to the Chicago music scene,
Hmm.
from then to now, have you seen any types of shifts? Because I know I've been looking for people like you that have choirs and still produce new choir music where we're not going back and recycling old stuff forever. So is that a thing that's prevalent in Chicago right now, or is that just something that you doing?
Um, I believe that that's my niche, how I present it. However, um, a lot of times we try to put God in the box. We
Okay.
try to put gospel music in the box. If that works, if being repetitive or just a churchy sound works for that artist, hey, I embrace it. It's dope. But as for me, I try to like have my own pathway or make my own path. So it's not like a blueprint out of Chicago sound. That's not, really my DNA. But I
Okay.
love my city. But
Okay.
I just think if we all look alike, sound alike, dress alike, perform alike, then we all might as well just make one big mass choir. People always try to put that the Chicago sound, the Chicago choir. There's so many facets of Chicago music in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I just have been trying to find my niche to present to the industry, and within the last 5-6 years, I've been able to find that.
So when you first started, do you feel like you got accepted? Like did they welcome you with open arms, or did they give you some pushback? Like, nah, you a newbie. I don't know if we're gonna let you in just yet.
Man, I think and we weren't never in the place where we couldn't sing.
Okay.
I always had some of the great musicians in Chicago. Even when we weren't getting paid, I would pay them out my pocket
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't have an album, we didn't have it. But we had top musicians, so I always make sure they was taken care of. But we still didn't have the status. I remember times being at the stage, getting ready to go on next, and somebody who had a bigger name, they walk past you like, "Nah, we going on now."
Hold on,
I remember like it was yesterday.
so were you scheduled to be on the set and then they just bypassed you and took the spot?
And it was an outdoor event and the lights went out. We had to sing in the dark.
Nah, see, you can't touch
Okay.
God anointed. You can't do
Treat
that.
it. Treat it. And like y'all are nobody. Treat it.
So
I remember those days, man.
you want to put the name on it? Who it was?
No. But you see me shake my head, yeah, but no.
I got you. I got you. So are okay, this is one question I've always had, and I got the chat going. So if y'all got any questions in the chat, please let me know. I just let y'all hear some of his music, so you already know he fire. Like, if you ain't got no Kenny Lewis in your Serato, then you tripping. I'm just saying. So when it comes to you and the structure, like the money behind choirs, I don't personally see how it works. Do you have to bust down like the publishing, or is it like, how does that work? Because then of
They don't
course.
bust down publishing. If you write the song, it's your publishing.
Okay.
I'll only share, like for me specifically, I'll only share my publishing with who may co-produce with me.
Okay.
Like for my last two projects, it's man Aaron Lewis.
Okay.
So I would share some of my publishing with him. But bro, I can't be up in the middle of the night writing the stuff, producing the stuff, and giving away publishing like it's free cheese in the line. No, we can't do that, Reverend. But there are times where, like say we've been out of the country, and I can only take 9 singers and stuff like that. Then you compensate them that way and stuff like that. You can't compensate 25 singers on every gig,
Okay.
but they shouldn't have to pay. They'll never pay for transportation and all that kind of stuff.
Got you.
And then,
So
like I say, depending on what it is, you take smaller groups now, anyway. But nah, man, I tell everybody my last project freed me because I felt like early in my career in the industry, I put out music that I thought the industry wanted us to present, but I can't do that no more. And when I just kind of follow the leading man of God and how to do stuff, when to do it, and not listen to the outside noise, is when he came through for us.
see, that's a bar. That's a bar. Hopefully, because all right. So the majority of my platform, I don't know if you know anything about my platform. My
Okay.
platform is centered around helping musicians become financially aware. And when I say aware, like you can invest in this to fund your dream. You can do this outside of just trying to depend on those little bit of streams, because that stream
Mm-hmm.
money ain't no money. So for people like you, I would love to have like mentor somebody that might be wanting to get into the gospel or the choir side. Cause you already
Good.
lived it. You've lived it. You know what it's like to be bypassed over and that type of thing. But the majority of my community is based on that, like that principle. So
Got you.
that's cool. So I guess is everybody normally kind of like I guess work for hire when it comes
Yep.
to okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
do you have a major deal right now? Or are you doing everything independently?
I started my own label 2016, which is when I got nominated for my first few Stellars. Um, and I've always had national distribution. So as it relates to like anything online, I don't have the middleman is cut out. Um, yeah.
Sweet.
So I'm with Symphonic Music. A lot of people like Snoop Dogg uses them. Dwayne Dupree uses them. They don't do a lot of gospel, but your numbers have to look a certain way
Got
for
you.
them to work with you. And it's been a blessing, man. Anybody use music, TikTok, anywhere, it's they gonna find it.
Sweet.
And
Sweet.
the first of the month gonna come. So yeah, it's a lot of people are doing partnership deals now,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the label give you all this money, then you have to pay it back, and then before you start seeing anything. So it's been sweet.
So, and the funny thing is for me, I'm conflicted when it comes to the idea of a 360 deal, and when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to just an artist like you putting in the work and then you do some type of partnership, right? The reason I'm conflicted is I know the weight of a 360 and I know how it could advance an artist to the next step if they don't have the resources to be able to do so. But I feel like they can't whine about signing a 360 if the 360 got you from point A to C. And now it's up to you to
Yeah.
get to D to Z, whatever. So,
Yeah. I feel you. Everything don't work for everybody. And I'm gonna say this as cool as I can. I don't care how great you are. My choir didn't just start singing. Okay, we pretty good. That didn't just start, right?
mm-hmm.
But a demand for my music or a fan base had to be there. So I don't care how great you are. Somebody still have to want your stuff. There has
Exactly.
to be a fan base for your stuff. So a lot of times we think we're good artists, and a lot of us are decent, but if nobody's calling for your music and radio is not embracing it, and you got relationship, then it's useless. And that's what a lot of times we do as artists. We don't try to build our brand and build our fan base. I tell artists all the time, but give a song away so that at least you can introduce yourself. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
we always think that everybody knows us. That's not the case, man. That's
Right.
not the case. So I'm always trying to expand, enlarge, grow, not be repetitive on the same style of music. I
Exactly.
think if it's a new album, there should be a new message.
Huh?
You can't deceive your audience. They know when you ain't putting the work in or you ain't been through nothing. You just putting out something.
Drake.
Ah, man, this guy,
I
man.
said it, he didn't
This
say
guy, man. This guy.
it. but no,
What?
but for real, like I guess the reason I take such a stance on certain things is I
My
know
fault. Man, leave Drake alone.
I know I love Drake. I love Drake. So
Ah,
as a disclaimer for everybody that might be watching this on YouTube, but they know how I talk too though. But I love Drake.
uh-huh.
I love how he ushered in a sound. The issue
Right.
for me is for the past sheesh 2011 to now, everybody, including gospel artists, has been just putting that low pass filter on their music, and everybody wanting to whisper, and everybody wanting they having a nighttime singing fest. And I'm just like, yo, well, everybody should show some level of being different. Like I do this, and you know, I would be pissed off if I went to a concert to see you and everybody sound like you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
get it. I
So,
get it.
but I feel like as far as the business goes, they say, all right, well, he hot, he got a fan base, put some money behind it, let's go.
Yeah.
So, that's why I call people like Drake out. I even call out label heads, bruh. Like my biggest record I had was on Eminem Recovery album, and that was on Universal Music, and I got a Grammy for that. After
Really?
that, I'm just like, it's very few youngins that's gonna make me turn it down. You know what I mean? And so now I know it's the label heads in charge that's making us listen to certain music. So it's like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is a thought. This is a thought. You can comment on it or not.
All
So
right.
I ain't gonna bring no smoke, bro. I promise you. But
You
you
want
say
to smoke? You do.
I don't. But no, like, all right. So your take on, remember how Kurt just came out with his whole release, and he was talking about how he didn't collect his pub on, I think it was Gospel Centric where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel like, my bad, bro? That's so unprofessional. But when it comes to his stance and what he's having to go through now, do you think that that's going to charge all of the older musicians and the older artists to come back and try to get their pub because he's made that statement and made that stance when it comes to gospel centric?
I don't think so. I did the exact same thing.
Okay.
We started in '99, did a first year anniversary in 2000, and first year anniversary and live record a year later after we had been established. And then I got my first major deal. I knew nothing about the industry. I just wanted to be an artist and put my music out. And I didn't have any publishing.
Hmm.
The record label took all the publishing because I was ignorant to the business.
Okay.
And a lot of those labels, like what Kirk is talking about and all that, a lot of them, they gone now. They're not even around no more.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Anybody come back getting no publishing, not in gospel.
Mm.
Unless you was somebody on Diddy label and he offering up publishing, but nah,
He said it. I did not.
he said it, you know. But some of these gospel labels, a lot of them, they gone, man.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
we should be good on that side. Well, I guess for gospel artists, what's the opportunities to perform now, or minister for context? Where are the opportunities you think? Hold on, you got muted.
My fault. What you mean when you say what are the opportunities to perform?
So, if you were to give like a new gospel artist that's trying to come up, if you were to give them
Mm-hmm.
some advice on go over here, this is where you might be able to go play and be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna be like trying to go to the church? Like I don't do people still do midnight musicals and stuff like that?
I don't know. I don't do musicals no more. I don't know.
Okay.
Um, but what I would say is that there are levels to this, man. Everybody want to be. Now, I don't like to use the term loosely, everybody, but it's levels to this, man. There's nothing wrong with being just a local artist until
Mm,
you grow, until you have that uh what's the word I want to use? Until you have artist development is the word I want to use.
okay.
A lot of times we're good enough to be artists, but we don't have artist development, which means we haven't practiced our craft. It's different than going in a booth and being able to minister to 5,000 people and keep them engaged for 45 minutes and then want to pay a $50 ticket to hear you. It's a whole different world.
Right.
And I go back, man, when we first got our idea, my first big concert, it was at Six Flags, Great America. It
Okay.
was me, Mary, Ty Tribbett, Yolanda Adams, and we were terrible.
what what was
I
bad?
had
What
all
was
the
bad
cats
about
that
it?
terrible, man. I had all the cats. Lil Tony was on bass. I had all the cats. I've always had the good cats. Well, some of the best cats from Chicago. I
Okay.
always had them on my team playing. I was paying them out of my pocket because we wasn't nobody gonna pay us yet. We had just started, right?
Right.
So we got our deal. We was on the radio. We got that gig. We out there doing A and B selections. No set. Everybody doing sets, drawing people in, going from song to song. We out there like, okay, our B selection gonna be what they do that at? Man, we
So
got our butt kicked so
so
bad.
what was the biggest record at the time for Mary Mary? Do you remember?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't, but they was together and they were huge. Yolanda Adams, Ty had already been out for a minute, dancing around. We were trash.
So so
Boy,
did
if you don't get that church service, midnight musical vibe up out of here, boy, get out of here with that.
so so did you did you have like all right, so I don't know how you feel like after playing the service, right? And
Mm.
you did a terrible job during that service. You just want to go home, go to sleep. was was that the feeling that you had after or you were cussing folk out like, yo, we got to do
Ain't no
better?
shaking hands. Let's go across the park and ride the roller coaster. Ain't no taking pic. Let's go over here. Let's go. Y'all want some cotton candy? Y'all want some popcorn? Let's go over here though. But honestly, man, that was like over 20 years ago.
Okay.
Um, but on the serious note, I tell people all the time, we want God's anointing to come in when we sing. We want him to be there. But if he never show up, musicians, singers, if he never show up, you should always sound good. Ain't no days of going home like I was terrible.
Right,
Unless you
right,
just
right.
unless you didn't have no voice, unless you were sick. If you rehearse, you should always sound good. You may
Right.
not always be your best, but you should never flunk no more. You've been doing this forever. When you rehearse and put the work in, we want his glory to show up. But if it don't, you still sound good because you put
Right.
the work in,
Right.
you know. But a lot of us, we like God gonna make the way. We don't want to put in no rehearsal time. No, he ain't making the way. He ain't coming through.
Right.
No, he good. He good.
So
He good, man.
I see somebody said something on the chat. I'm gonna come to that in a minute. I got one more thing, and then we're gonna go to the chat. I think Goliath said that part. I got somebody in my community. It's called the lucrative community, right? His name is
Okay.
Goliath.
That mean
Goliath.
y'all got paper. That mean y'all
Huh?
got paper over there. The lucrative, huh? Look at the name and say the
Doc.
lucrative community. I can't get no help. I
Nah,
can't get no help.
he bringing big Jesus in the room, y'all. Big Jesus, not the little one. Not the little one. so
Oh,
I so it's another question because I have my stance on certain things.
okay.
When it comes to us Christians, right? And a lot of my stance, they would correlate that to being a Republican. And I'm like, that's not necessarily what this is. I
You
just
probably are. Go ahead.
why it cause a lucrative.
I
Yo,
saw that. I saw that MAGA hat back there. I'm just
the
kidding. Go
dumb,
ahead.
you you the one from Chicago. You had the black man repping him, Kanye.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
but do you feel like people are not weighing Christianity anymore? And I'm specifically talking from a musical standpoint because I truth moment, and my wife is in the chat too, so I'm gonna be chill
She got to deal with you.
every
Yikes.
day, dog.
Got it.
But when it comes to a lot of the newer gospel artists, and I ain't gonna put no names on it, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
respectful.
don't put no name.
I ain't gonna do that. But I feel like a lot of it be a little bit too much. Not even from a Kurt Franklin too much. Like Kurt Franklin too much is like mid now. From like what we did back then to what it is now, I'm like, is it something that we should go along with? Is it something that we should call out? Like, is it a standard that's being lowered? I don't. What you think?
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't see that. I still see a wide variety of gospel music. We got more praise and worshipers over here. We still got choirs. We still got quartet. We
We
still got urban. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking.
Kurt's still been dancing around,
Nah,
doing
not
his
that type of
thing.
dance. We got the twerkers in the church now, Doc.
I ain't seen
They are
them
twerking on TikTok for the Lord. Big Jesus.
on TikTok.
No,
How do we
a,
talk about something on TikTok?
a church service. A church service got praise dancers twerking. They twerking like Megan Thee Stallion came and taught them how to twerk and protect your knees at the same time.
Uh, was their hands on the knees when they was twerking?
Not yet. They were gonna get there though. They were gonna get there.
Man, I don't know about that stuff, man. I
Okay.
don't know. I ain't seen it.
Okay.
But send me the link because I want to see.
I see you the link, Doc. It's a few of them out there now, Doc.
No, man. I mean that. I just think that's in any situation, man. It's gonna be something. It's
Okay.
gonna be something. You can dot every I or think you dot every I, cross every T. Think you put out the greatest music to your ability, and people still gonna be in the chat roasting you.
That's
So
true.
what you do?
That's true.
Because they still do it to me.
Uh,
You know, you get thousands, hundred thousands. Like the single, I put out clips of the single, man. It went viral in like 6 hours. It's like over 500,000 views, and people still heating. They was still. So what do? Do you go and respond? Do you put a post? Nah, I don't. I don't care. I just try to keep focused, man. I think that this is what I think. I think failure is not if you do something and you fail at. I think failure is when you don't try to do nothing, right?
okay.
And I think success is not the accolades, but success is the people that you're blessing with your music. So if I look at those two aspects, I don't have time to worry about who ain't feeling you because I'm just not for everybody.
Right. Right. I like that take. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. So we'll go to the album for a short second. If y'all got anything in the chat before we wrap up, because I'm not gonna have this man on here the whole amount of time. I had
Bless you.
I had an hour on the schedule. I was like, I ain't gonna do that. I was like, we gonna keep it chill. It's been
Yeah,
chill so far, right? It
it's
ain't been.
been chill, man. It's been chill and funny.
So what gave you the idea to start writing the records for the Undefeated album? Were you going through a certain like time in life? How did that come about?
You know, that seems to be like the popular story, right? I was at this place in my life and God gave me a song. Nah, nah, nah. I could be rolling down the street and I get a vibe or I get a joint in my head, and I pick up my phone and throw it on my memo and keep it. What I did though on this project, I specifically targeted everybody. A lot of times in my interviews, people would say, "Who's your target audience?" And I would say, "Oh, this one, or that one, millennials, or that." No, it's everybody, Doc.
Okay.
So I know that I'm called to the people and not to the industry. If you don't like quartet, then just hold on. We got something else for you. You like old school, you don't like that? We got something else for you. Those are all the things that I like.
Okay.
I ain't arguing, bring the choir back, lead a praise team. That ain't my argument. I don't
Okay.
care nothing about it. I like
Okay.
praise team. I like the choir. I like quartet. I like urban AC. I like, get my groove on. So
Okay.
all of those are part of me. And that's
Gotcha.
the kind of music that I put out. All those kind of, but I try to do it in honor of the people writing, not just sing it. You
Right.
know, that you can't sound like a big old choir singing a quartet song. You have to embody that style, right?
Right.
So that's where I am.
So even with that, when my wife and I were coming back from Carolina,
Mhm.
we listened to the majority of the project. It's a few standouts. The undefeated one was, I think it's just something between the bass lick that's on the back end and how you, it felt like a Ray Charles swing vocally, and we both were looking at each other like this. This bug is killing. So
Thank you, man.
so did you have like a collaborative effort to create that part? Was that with your boy who you were talking about, or did you just pin everything in? Okay.
I penned everything. I wrote the song from top to bottom, but I brought Aaron Lewis. Aaron, you probably know Aaron. He does a lot of MDN for Kirk, for
Okay.
James Fortner. He's from Nashville, big
Okay.
time producer. But I brought him in because I felt like what he brings to the table and what I bring, that we could merge those two vibes and create something. So the music was already down, but he got a certain flavor and a certain sound. I like musicians and producers that understand vocals and understand music, because I'm going to understand the music, but vocals is my thing, right? So, man, it's just been a great working process. So we just did the second album in June. So the
Ah.
song's name is just the first single from it.
Okay. Dope. 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 Hold on, let me give you one. I got to give you one for that, cause yeah, fine. So I'm gonna give y'all a chance in the chat. Do y'all have anything that y'all want to ask Mr. Kenny Lewis, man? Cause I got more questions, but I don't think you want to answer them questions. I'll give you one. All right. Since you asked. Since you asked.
Yeah, blame it on me. Yep, I did. Yep.
I give you one. So in my producer brain and my
Mm-hmm.
my podcaster brain, I look at certain people. Goliath is laughing at me. I'm not bringing smoke, y'all. I promise I'm not. But when it comes to people, and I'm not talking about nothing but the music, specifically the music. Period.
Yep.
Lil Nas X, with this whole the gospel song that he released, do you feel like he might be mocking the church, or do you think it's just a marketing strategy? Like, what do you think? Well, what do you think of his music? If you ever heard his music before?
I'm not aware of his music. I'm aware of who he is. But if I
Okay,
keep it all the way 100, I haven't heard his gospel song.
okay,
I don't know nothing about it. How do I feel about people who are not gospel artists singing gospel music? I have no problem with it.
okay.
Uh, Gospel is the good news. If he's not a gospel artist, then why would we expect him to line up with gospel views? He's doing a gospel song, like a
Mm.
lot of these cats that do gospel songs. But I'm not aware of his song. But I'm definitely, when I go to the gym, I'm gonna pull it up. But I didn't know when this new.
It is new. It's new,
Yeah,
right?
I had no clue.
My issue, and my issue is solely based on, I'm looking at how we are in our communities, right? Black communities, the church community. Even if the
Mm-hmm.
church community is multicultural, whatever it is, right? I'm looking at how much of a stretch it normally is for us to get that shine, that little 5 to 30 second snippet that every social media platform, every major platform gives to artists like him, where I feel like somebody like you would deserve to play that spot. Or even let's say you were doing a halftime show and I'm gonna get a gospel artist to do this halftime show. And they go to this. I almost cuss, I ain't gonna cuss. I'm gonna go to him to book this halftime show instead of a Kenny Lewis. I got an issue with that.
That's just the way it is, man.
Mm.
That's just the way it is. It's who you know, who you connected to. That's just the way it is. And I'm not saying it's a lot of Kenny Lewis's. I'm not saying that, but it's a lot of other people that are great or just as great that are out here. Everybody's not gonna get the spot. You know, it's about stature. It's about how much money can be made from you letting them do that clip. That's why the commercials be so high. We'll show you a commercial, $1 million
Yeah.
per commercial show. So it's other backstories involved. I just know my greatness is coming, man. I don't even care about that stuff because you'll never be able to figure out the whens and the whys and how because it won't make sense. And we ain't even got to go way over there in his community on music. We can stay right over here in gospel. I mean, if we keep it all the way funky, a lot of artists we see the same people on the same shows.
Yep. Yep. I want to put.
We,
I want to put
I mean,
names
we
to folk.
do. We see somebody. I mean, and I'm not a hater because I've lost a few times. I've been nominated, but I've lost a few times. But it'll be like choir of the year, and we'll lose to somebody who's not even the choir, or a contemporary song of the year, and we'll lose to somebody that's praise and worship. They're not even contemporary. It's just the way it is, man.
Mm.
Without naming names.
I appreciate your stance. I appreciate it because I guess for me, every win,
Yeah.
I celebrate every win and I celebrate every loss. But with that celebration of that loss, will come some smoke.
Why you celebrating losses though? Don't tell nobody else that.
No, not a celebrated loss. I said I'm
What you
gonna
said.
bring the smoke.
Okay.
That's my celebration.
You
My celebration is bringing smoke upon whoever I lost to.
I get it. In words, you had I ain't gonna say it on here. You had your serious face. I celebrate my wins and I celebrate my losses. What?
Yeah. Like that.
It's all good, man.
All right, so I don't see no questions in the chat. I guess my last thing would be how can people support you? What you got out that they can go ahead and buy, some links, any of that stuff.
Look, social media, Instagram is Kenny Lewis OV. Kenny Lewis OV on Instagram. Anything else, Twitter, Facebook, anything else is Kenny Lewis and One Voice. Or you can go to KennyLewisOneVoice.com and find out everything we got happening. Listen, I got a new single out. It came out 3 weeks ago now. I believe it's like top 38 in the country after 3 weeks. Billboard charts, it landed at number 8 on the charts on digital outlets. All I need y'all to do is go and download. We all are privy to free music. We all got free Apple, well, $9.99, whatever it is, and Amazon, Spotify. But go download. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, and download Kenny Lewis One Voice, Call His Name, featuring Kim Burrell.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go, man. Let's go. So that's Kenny Lewis, everybody. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him. I will have all his information. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the information will be in the subject of this video. And run it up. I want this man to do 10 million next week. How about that? I think we can do it. All right. Till next week. Peace.